All right, well, joining me now to discuss this and the other big stories today are Sky News host Danica DiGiorgio and commentator Jason Morrison. Great to see you both. Sure. Look, Jason, clearly this is going to be an ongoing problem for the Albanese government. Every single interview with the Treasurer, the Finance Minister, the Prime Minister, journalists are now asking, can you rule out taxes to the family home? And the public just are going to struggle to believe them.
Yeah, although, self-interest will tell me that they're not going to change negative gearing, at least backwards. They might change it forwards because if you have a look at the pecuniary interests, most of the ministers, I think Tony Burke's the best of them, are incredibly negatively geared, and self-interest does kick in a little higher than political interest at times. Look, I think I heard, what you've had to say tonight, and I have no doubt that absolutely the Meccano of all of this is spot on. Albanese has always been in the middle or alongside the snakes in the grass during the Rudd-Gillard-Rudd manoeuvring. He knew what was going on. He picked the sides. He had to play the game. So he knows how quickly this escalates. He's a pretty experienced politician, which is not always a compliment, but he's an experienced politician, and he would sniff what's going on, and he'd sniff the guy that,
But even if it's not going on, it makes him paranoid because he's been up to his neck in it previously.
He's done it before, and he knows the game, and he knows the words that go out, and that quote that you reported last week about the heads he loses, tails. Look, he knows because he knows that's true. And I'd say Jim Chalmers walks down the street. Most people struggle to even know him, but they all know Albanese. And that's why the figurehead gets the blame when the promise is broken, and especially when he was so strident and so righteous in that Mark Riley interview that you played a little bit of back there as he became Prime Minister, telling us and committing to us that his word was his bond. People don't forget that stuff, and they could sniff BS, and they see it written all over the guy. And that's why he's copping the blame. It's not to do with political manoeuvring, it's reality, because he's part of the brand that let him down.
Danica, clearly we're starting to see a Prime Minister under pressure, the Voice defeat. They've obviously got polling in Dunkley that's made the Prime Minister not only bring forward or agree to the changes to stage 3, but really feel like or know that he's going to struggle there. And then again, this broken promise, this is what we're now seeing. He's starting to feel the pressure and react to it.
Oh, it's very clear that he's starting to feel the pressure, Sharri, and of course he is, because he's weakened from the top. The media keep replaying that same old video of him saying, I am a man of my word. We have seen it so many times that he's lost all credibility. No matter what he says, no matter what he comes out and says now, people are going to question whether or not he's actually telling them the truth. And it's interesting, we talk about strained relations between the Treasurer and the Prime Minister. That's not necessarily unusual. We've seen it with previous Prime Ministers and Treasurers. But the issue here is if he is openly briefing against his own Treasurer, what does that tell you? That Labor is imploding and that Anthony Albanese is extremely worried by this. And in the end, he's the leader. He is the face of the Labor Party. So when something goes wrong, the blame is going to be on him. He has to wear it.